Hey guys, new feature implemented here. So we'll get into showing what's new here. First thing I've noticed is that I am flying. What I've gone and done is I've created a feature that allows you to possess player controllers. I had to go and rewrite the way that I was controlling a script or an object, a player. So as you can see, these capsules are the current model that I'm using. Very basic. Just drop in a capsule and use it as a mesh, a placeholder. But I have two characters here that I can take control of. Right now I am using a FreeCam controller, which lets me just kind of fly around, zoom through the map, go through walls, whatever. So just so I can get around. And then if I come up close to this and press a specific button, I will possess this character, now taking control of it, and I can move around doing whatever that character can do. So maybe if I unpossess, you'll see that's moved around. But maybe, so the intended purpose of this is that now using this, I can have different types of controllers. Let's say this was yellow and this was red. The yellow could jump much higher and do some features that red can't, and then red can run much faster and do other features that yellow can't. This is going to be extremely useful in the upcoming future and probably further on. And it's going to allow me to play with more than just one form of gameplay controller. So the one that I have right now is pretty locked into. I can only have one weapon at a time. I can all I can do is I can move around, WASD, jump, and I can shoot if I have a weapon in my hand. Alright, that's great. Now what if I want to have multiple weapons, an inventory system on a character, but I don't want to get rid of what I have right now? And that's where this is going to come in play. So this character will have an inventory system allowing me to store multitudes of weapons and maybe even more. I think maybe something like Skyrim's inventory system, where you can just stockpile it with a weight being your only restriction. Whereas this one will be a very you can only have a very specific slot. So maybe you can have one primary weapon, one secondary weapon, one melee weapon, like a knife or something like that. So that's going to be the intended feature for this. It's also going to let me let me do other things, such as possessing this vehicle, taking on a first-person view from inside the cabin of the vehicle, and completely switching up the controls from a WASD movement, using space to jump and mouse to shoot and whatnot, to a more to a different control scheme, such as W is accelerate, S is to brake, A and D will turn the front wheel. Let's say A and D will turn the front wheels, and maybe Q and E will do something. I'm not sure what yet, but yeah, it'll let me completely remap or use completely different control schemes, even though I'm working in the same project. The second thing, which is on a much lesser scale, is I now have a new weapon. The first form of explosive weapon is a grenade launcher, which just lets me lob very, very basic looking grenades in a direction. That's essentially it. Just, yeah, they apply an explosive force to rigid bodies that are not kinematic. Right now, I'm having an issue with the vehicles where, because of changes that they made in Unity 5.5, I think it was, a rigid body cannot have a concave. A non-kinematic rigid body cannot have a non-concave mesh collider. Right now, what it's doing is that these vehicles have a mesh collider wrapped around the main body, and then concave wheel object. So there's 4 wheels and a body body mesh to it. The reason I have a mesh collider is for these bullet holes. So you can see it lines up very nicely with the vehicle, facing on the surface, facing outwards on the surface in which it lands. You'll notice that some of these, like I'm shooting on an angle there, it's matching the face of the surface. But when I do a concave, what happens is the collider extends through the air over to this, from this corner down to this corner, which allows me to shoot bullets here and they just float in air, and I really do not like that. The other thing is concave, because I have wheels going up, wheels with concave meshes here, or even if I convert them to cylindrical meshes, the issue is that when you concave the main body from this corner over to this corner is a solid object, which means the wheels get shot off. They try and push each other, so the wheels cannot actually be here because the concave collider of the body is forcing out the wheels from the collider. It's detecting a collision, forcing it to leave its space immediately, which is a problem. So right now, the explosions do not affect the they affect the wheels, as you'll notice, the little change in position, but they don't affect the body because the body's is currently set as a kinematic rigid body until it explodes. So you'll notice the wheels coming off here. I'll just quickly, or not shoot because the gas tank's gone. I will destroy this one. And now it's been destroyed. The wheels they're just wheels. But now that it's been destroyed, I can pop off the wheels. It's no longer a problem. It now becomes a concave object. I'll actually take the gun. So concave mesh, and you'll notice here these bullet holes just floating in the air. I don't like that. So I got to figure a way of fixing that issue where yeah, I'm just gonna figure something out. But at least I can send them flying around. Once I figure out how to fix that mesh issue, I'll be able to actually launch these vehicles up into the air just by dropping a grenade down underneath here, which will be very fun to play with. But yeah, that's essentially all the changes. I can possess this guy. We'll take the shotgun, and you'll notice he still holds the gun because everything when you eject from a controller, nothing happens. All it does is it puts that controller in a suspended state with no active user, meaning I can come back and recontrol it or leave him the way he was. He'll have his gun. It'll be loaded to the exact same amount. I actually go in here, shoot a couple shots. Oh, that's interesting. The GUI's not. I'll have to change that. So I can eject, and they're both holding weapons. They're both in the same state. I come back to here. I have 6 shots left. So yeah, it's just placing the controller in a suspended state, allowing you to repossess it at a later time. Or what I'm planning to do is also create like a form. Try and figure out how to create a form of artificial intelligence that can just plop itself inside. It can possess these character controllers just like you do as the player, and figure out how to control it using God knows what. But that's the plan that I would like to accomplish, is having an AI be able to control whatever you're not controlling and just do its thing. But yeah, that covers everything that's been done. It wasn't nothing spectacular in this update. Just a major feature that's going to be important in pretty much everything going on from here, and a disgusting looking grenade launcher. So I'll be trying to figure out how to fix those vehicles because I would really love to move away from the guns right now and see about trying my hand at some of these vehicle controls. I would love to set up a racetrack, see if I can do that, and play around with some suspension so that it actually feels like you're bouncing when you hit uh, rough surfaces and whatnot. And yeah, so we'll see where we go from there. Thank you for watching.